goes, there is also misery. It's no mystery. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy when we're in too deep. And you and I, we got history, yeah.
Hey guys, what is up? That's Texan here, and today we're in a very special car, number 1500 of 1600, the final edition Lancer Evolution. Brakes here. Well, the first thing that I definitely notice is that the clutch on this car really grabs all the way at the top, so it's kind of hard to modulate it, but the transmission, the standard 5-speed transmission, does engage pretty nicely. Another thing that I do notice on this road surface, which is a little bit uneven, is that you instantly feel pretty much everything that's going on. It's a good thing, but on the other end of the spectrum, it's also a bad thing. If you have to commute in this car, this could drive you nuts if you're not a performance-orientated person, but for me, I don't really care too much. I mean, come on, you don't buy these cars to be comfortable in them on a long road. Then you get, well, my daily driver, the Grand Marquis, which pretty much floats over everything. This is direct, this is purpose built, and this is for a lot of fun instead of sloofing around on a giant floating couch. Let's try these brakes here real quick. Very linear. Another thing that this car comes with is these two-piece rotors up the front. Now the standard one doesn't get that. That's only for the final edition. Looks really, really cool. Man, you really feel the power coming in this car. Just over the 3000 RPM, it just starts pulling like crazy. It is insane, and it also does it very violently. The WRX that I reviewed, obviously it's not an STI, so you gotta have to give it that, but it was very, very linear. This is like, okay, every single time you shift gears, it puts you back in your seat with a lot of force. It's not, it just doesn't hide the fact that, hey, I got 303 horsepower, I got 305 pound-feet of torque out of this 2-liter turbo engine, and I'm showing you that I got that power. This is insane. What a lot of fun, this thing. And another thing that I love about this car is, okay, it doesn't have a 6th gear. It really should. Right now, I'm doing 60 miles an hour, and I'm tacking just below 3,000 RPM. That is kind of high. If I had to overdrive 6th gear, that would have been perfect. But on the other hand, this transmission shifts a whole lot better than the WRX transmission. It's precise, it's direct, and it just clicks into place. It is absolutely perfect. As far as handling goes, this car has it made. Take those twisties and not have any hint of understeer, oversteer, nothing. It just grips and goes. Now, part of the reason why is, of course, it has that active rear diff that pretty much sends the power where it needs to go. And look at that, we have another Evo brother up there. Hello. This road is not as soft and smooth as you would want it to be. It is still so much fun taking this car through all these corners. Now, another thing this car comes with is Eibach springs and Bilstein shocks, which the standard version has to do without. Now that probably explains why the road noise and you feel pretty much everything, but it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing at all. It makes it very flickable and you feel connected to the road. Right now I'm sitting in third gear, 3,000 RPM, and I'm putting my foot in it. There it is. This thing is crazy. Oh man, so much fun. Now here is a railroad track, so I'm going to slow down a fair bit. Yeah, pretty harsh. Now while we're stuck behind this truck, I'm going to talk about the interior. It is pretty hard. It is not really super inspiring either, but you have to bear in mind that this is a purpose-built car. This car is built for people that don't care about the frills. This car is built for people that love to go fast, and this does it perfectly. You got RPM, you got speed, you got your mode button, which probably pretty useless here in Texas, and especially for this car. This is a limited edition, so one, you don't want to take it on gravel unless, you know, you don't care about that sort of thing. And two, snow, you do get it, but it's not that bad over here. So you're probably never going to use that, so you just leave it on the tarmac setting. Uh-oh, we're going to have to turn around. Now this is a perfect place to test how horrible the turning radius is. Yeah, this is going to take a couple of times, I think. Well, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad at all. Look, it's a competition. That was a WRX actually, but still. Now when I asked someone about the choice between the Evolution and the STI, Evo owners always said it's because the Evo is more hardcore. It is more track orientated. It has less of the comfort and more of the handling. And honestly, I think this car, let me go into fifth gear here, is a whole lot more revvy than the WX that I drove. Now I can't compare it to an STI because I haven't driven an STI yet, but given that an STI also still has a boxer engine, this car, this inline 4, is probably going to do a little bit better in that regard. There's a nice weight to the steering wheel too. It's not electronic steering, it's still hydraulic, so you still get that nice feel. And it's weighted right too. You don't get that, oh, now it's all of a sudden really, really light. No, it's always the same. At least it is from where I'm sitting, and I like it a lot. Now let me talk about the seats. They are unfortunately not Recaros. When you talk about cars like this that are purpose built, I would like to have a seat that is a little bit more confining. And when you look at the exterior styling overall, there's no way that you're gonna miss this as a car that is just a run-of-the-mill grocery getter. I mean, that wing is a dead giveaway, obviously, but the badging on the back also tells you, hey, this is something special. This is something, well, final. The final edition of the Evolution. So much fun to drive fast. Now the final thing, the final conclusion, I am sad, I truly am. This is an automotive icon. Very unfortunate that Mitsubishi had to get rid of it, but it's also been with us since pretty much 2007, this body style. And at that point, something has to give. It is very unfortunate. Let me get past the semi here real quick. It is very unfortunate, but it might be the right decision. And honestly, I think that Mitsubishi now has a chance. They can bring back the Evo. Give it a 6-speed manual transmission. Give it some high-tech hybrid electric drivetrain, because as much as it pains me to say, electric has the future. They can become a leader. They can become something that Subaru doesn't have, at least not yet. And if you do that, you might once again be on the top. Now on that note, I hope you enjoyed this review. Edison, thank you so much for letting me drive your Evo. It's been a blast, and last of the last, man. Okay, not last of the last, this is number 1500 of 1600, but pretty close. You guys take care, and I'll see you on the flip side. But wait, what's the space in the back? It is excellent. But wait, what about the trunk? It's a little small.